call to surrender land to Russia would typically trigger outrage in Kyiv. But this one comes from a woman of Ukrainian descent, now seated in the US Congress, who says the war cannot be won, at least not under President Zelensky's leadership.
Growl in front of Putin.
Victoria Spartz, born in Ukraine's Chernihiv Oblast and now representing Indiana, has called on her ancestral homeland to cede territory to Russia and urged Ukrainians to vote Zelensky out. If they were winning the war, that would be very different, Spartz said in an interview with The Telegraph published April 7th, arguing that Ukraine is in no position to demand back all of its Russian-occupied territories. Her comments follow a similar line of thought from U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who emphasized that peace requires compromise.
Sides, and I've said from the beginning, the only way a war ends in a negotiated settlement. If it's not an unconditional surrender, then it is both sides make concessions. We're not going to prejudge what those concessions are, because those concessions will depend on what Ukraine will accept and Russia will accept. But we have to make concrete steps towards peace.
Elected to Congress in 2021 and re-elected in 2024, Spartz initially backed U.S. aid to Ukraine and often spoke of the war in deeply personal terms. But her stance has since hardened, turning into pointed criticism of Zelensky and his chief of staff, Andriy Yermak. There are no easy solutions, she told The Telegraph, blaming President Joe Biden for what she described as failed support. President Trump inherited it, so now he has to deal with it, she added, aligning herself with Trump's call for direct talks with Putin. Spartz didn't hold back while revisiting the now infamous Oval Office clash between Trump and Zelensky. She accused the Ukrainian leader of insulting the American president and doing a disservice to the Ukrainian people. More provocatively, she urged Ukrainians to vote Zelensky out in the next election. They will have an election, and then if they elect him, they're going to lose the rest of the country, she said. In a separate March 24th interview with Newsmax, Spartz praised Trump as a good negotiator and claimed Zelensky lacked the leadership to win the war.
To win wars, you need to have leaders who know how to win, not to try not to lose and become oligarchs themselves.
She further accused Zelensky of consolidating power, seizing control of media, prosecuting churches, businesses, and volunteers, echoing rhetoric often used by Kremlin-aligned critics. On April 4th, the Wall Street Journal reported that Spartz would not back a proposed $60 billion Ukraine aid package, citing a lack of clear strategy and insufficient oversight. She has consistently supported Republican calls to restructure Ukraine assistance into loans instead of grants, a position she tied to broader concerns about accountability. In late 2023, Spartz told reporters she had largely moved on from focusing heavily on Ukraine, a shift that has since coincided with her push for aid reform and deeper scrutiny of Kyiv. Her most recent remarks, urging territorial concessions, calling for Zelensky's ouster, and embracing Trump's negotiation-first narrative, are already sending shockwaves through both Kyiv and Washington.